Hey, Tactical Painter here on Out in the Soots Crafting Wood Shop. Today in the shop we're going to be working on this awesome revolver pen kit that you can pick up at Penn State. This is an awesome kit that this customer provided. Here's some of the parts that you can see here. There's the end where the ink comes out. There's a bullet right there. You've got a revolver cylinder that rotates when you press in the pen clip. And then to retract the pen, you've got this awesome trigger here that you press, and that retracts the ink back up inside the pen there. And today he provided us with this wonderful piece of Magnolia blank. It's not exactly a square blank. It's got some of the interior pith of the tree there. So we are going to do this up as nice as we can for them, get a nice good polish on here, and without further ado, let's get it started. So we're back out here. We're going to be cutting the size and drilling for this revolver pen kit in antique brass for this customer. He supplied this lovely piece of Magnolia blank. There's a really nice feature, that knot section that's right there, that passes kind of at an angle. It goes in here, kind of comes out here, it looks like. We've got this pith here in the back that we got to watch out for. Actually, that knot might go through there and then come out here. If that's the case, then we've got a real nice section. So what we're going to do is we're going to capitalize on that. We're going to take our brass tube, and I want that in the center there. I think that will give us the best chance for luck, is to have that right in the center. So we're going to take our pen, and we are going to just mark on both sides of that. Now we've got it marked on both sides, and let's get that cut. Got a nice clean entry hole, good clean exit hole. You can see that pith right there, real soft wood. If that bushing is underneath that, we may very well have to stabilize that section in order to make sure that it doesn't chip out or cause any issues. But yeah, I'd say that's going to look quite nice. I like that. Alright. On to glue up. Alright, so now we got this Magnolia blank chucked up for this antique brass revolver kit. So we are going to get this laid down. I've got a nice good edge on my roughing gouge here. So without further ado, we'll just go and get this started. When I did the tank pen out of the Magnolia, it turned pretty easily. So I'm going to be careful because I've got quite a bit of overhang on this bushing here, but it should lathe up just fine. This is that one that we had, that punky section that goes right through the center here, that we reinforced with some CA glue. A couple of spots we got to watch out for here as we're lathing it down. Just make sure that those sections don't end up having any cracks that we got to watch out for. Got an open section here, so we got to watch with our gouge as we come in to make sure that we don't catch inside of that and crack the blank. So, but a few things to watch out for, but we'll just take it. Well, I've got it turned up on 3700, so it should turn just fine. So you see me being really careful here, and the reason I'm being so gentle and using such small motions is because this blank is almost the same width as my sanding pads, and with it being such a light color, if I touch the metal and then come back into the wood at all, it's going to drag some of those metal filings that are going to come off onto the pad into my light blank. So I'm concentrating on the center and I'm applying pressure with my index finger in the location where I want it to polish. And then I'm just moving down and staying very close to the edge, and then when I need to do the edges, I'm going to take it and I'm going to move along, and when I get close to the end, I'm going to lift straight off, move the pad down a little bit, and go in the opposite direction. That way I don't get any metal filings into the grain on this Magnolia blank. It's very beautiful. It's got some nice features right in here. It's got a little section of like figuring right here around that knot. It's going to look really nice. Some of that other knot that was on this side that I thought was going to disappear, some of it stayed. This section is kind of an interesting area here, but yeah, this spot is beautiful. I think it's going to look really nice right in there. It's got some figuring and stuff in there. So I'm just being very careful, taking it very slow, not to drag any of the metal into the blank. See on the pad here how you got those two dark areas on both sides? This is the side that I was going this direction on, so those are all the metal filings that if I'd gone back in the opposite direction it would have put into the blank. And then on this side, this is the one where I was going in this direction, and again if I'd gone in the opposite direction I would have dragged all those metal filings back into the blank. So you got to watch out for that when you're using polishes and abrasives. But I think that's ready to move on to the next grit. Okay, so we are all set up to add a little bit of sand sealer. So I'm just using some Mylan's sand sealer on here. We just put a little bit on our blue cloth. Don't need a whole lot, it's not a very big blank. And if you add too much of this stuff, it will kind of gum up and will give you a rough polish, or a rough surface. It'll have some high points and low points that you'll then need to go back and repolish all the way through your grits in order to knock those down. Spin that for a second. Let that air dry. Okay, add a little bit more. Just add a little bit to our cloth here. Just apply that right there. Grab a dry section, wipe off the excess. Let that spin dry. I'd say that's good. Using some Mylan's high gloss friction polish. Just add some to our cloth here. Put that on there, turn it on, get some heat built up. Doesn't that look wonderful? Do another layer of that. That looks terrific. Hit it with a little Dr. Kirk's. This will just take care of any rub marks or buff marks. Just a, let's see, this is a polishing wax. Spot, and we turn around, buff off whatever's left. Yeah, that looks fantastic. Alright, on to the little Renaissance wax, a few layers for added protection. Put a good sized coat onto that. Alright, that's just about ready to buff off. Grab ourselves a clean patch here. Let's buff that off. Yeah, that looks good. Put another coat onto that. Alright, now I won't make you guys sit through all these coats of wax, of protective wax, so I will rejoin you at assembly. Alright, we got our parts laid out for our Antique Brass Revolver Pen kit. We've got a Magnolia blank here that was provided to us by the customer. It looks really nice. We've got a really nice section with a knot here that has some figuring in it that turned out really nice, that we're going to have up front and center on our piece. We just have to determine if we're going to have that to the top of the pen or if we're going to have that to the back, or to the bottom, I mean. And I think it looks good in this orientation. I think so we'll have that to the down, so to the bottom of our pen. We'll have it just like that, and that'll look real nice. So the first thing that we do with this is we have to press in our coupler for our tip. So we take that, we set it inside there, put a spacer block in here, press that into place, just like so. So that's flush with the front there, just like that. Come on, focus. There we go. And then our tip just threads in, just like this. You see we have a nice fit right there. So we'll thread that back off and put our back on. Take our smaller section out here and let's put that knot just off center slightly so you get some of that figuring going through the top there. Just flip this around so the wood is against the dowel rin. Rotate that, press it again. Okay,
there's that. So now we can assemble our pen the rest of the way. We put our plunger on, just like so. Just thread it in. Then we take our ink, take our rubber tip off, slide that down inside. Off camera here, sorry. Take our spring, put it on with the flared end. See the flared end on the spring there? Goes to the front. Take our bullet tip, thread it on, and then that is finished. So we've got our nice knot right there in the center, and going forward we have our revolver here. We've got our trigger, which when you press it releases the ink, and the plunger. So you press the plunger forward, pull the trigger, and that releases. So I can't get the whole thing in frame here. Just like that. I think that looks quite nice. Very nice pen. Get you a close up on here. So there's the ink coming out of the bullet tip and going back. And there's close up of the turning and the releasing. Yeah, it's very nice. I like that. I think the customer will be quite happy with that.